What's up, everybody? Welcome to the final round. I'm your host, Isaiah,
And I'm Jake. What's up?
and this is, like I said, this is the final round, and we're going to be breaking down the
This is
UFC
our first.
318
Yeah.
Holloway versus Poirier 3 card happening this
Y-
weekend.
Yeah. So this is I'm gonna be logged in as episode number 36 to 37. We're not officially separating from WMPG, but oh speaking of that, we gotta change the our channel bio now that we're probably not doing it anymore. But
Sure.
well, let's leave it because our stuff's still on there. But for now on, we're going to be doing most of our podcast on here online, and just be and if anyone doesn't like it, it was all Isaiah's idea, so you can't blame him. So
Oh, well.
what are you gonna do?
What are you going to do?
Back off, I'm back off, guy. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Okay, so before we get to it, let's get into some news. We are not going to talk about Connor's dick. We're just going to mention the fact that if you haven't seen
It's
the
out
short
there.
clip of Chael Sonnen, well, no, I'm hoping everyone is. If you're a female, that's fine. Go look at it. You can take a look. Just know that there's probably a lot of cocaine coursing for those veins.
Yeah.
Like, cocaine's a hell of a drug, dude. Right before we recorded, Isaiah texted me because we were both watching the 318 press conference. He goes, "Bro, is it Paulo on coke?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's still kind of stash.
Yeah, dude, he's looking like he's on coke in there, man.
What?
He's looking like he's on coke, just ooh.
Yeah, he's like, I make fire. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. Donald Trump has announced there's going to be a White House card, and now every fighter, including the recently retired John Jones, wants to be on the card. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds to say what you think about this White House card and John Jones may be on
it. Honestly, I don't think it happens. I really don't think it happens. Dana doesn't like outside events. You can't predict weather. They're gonna have to build seats and build something to hold people to watch it.
Yeah, they're gonna probably build something. It's probably just like,
and it can't be a large crowd.
It's not gonna be ready. Crowd. Yeah, it's not gonna be ready by the time, because I think they want to do it at some time next year, right? Yeah,
July 4th next year.
It's probably just July 4th. That's a whole year, so maybe they can get something done.
I don't think it happens, but the last thing I'll say about it, fuck John Jones.
What?
I said last thing I'll say about it, fuck John Jones.
There you go. There he is. 3 years ago, you and me were like, John's the fucking GOAT. And then John had a little thing called, I guess we can call it ducking. I call it trolling. And now ever since Isaiah's been, you made a, dude, I think I'm going to go back and edit the name of that video where you said UFC News. No, I'm going to name that video Isaiah Hates John Jones, right? That's what it was.
Ben Askren's woke up out of his coma.
Dude, he looks like he's cutting an atom weight.
Bro, he said he died 4 times. He looked like he literally fought death.
He's like, yeah, I only died 4 times. Whatever.
He said,
it's kind of funny because, I'm before this whole thing, if you asked him what's the most embarrassing thing in your life, he's like, probably getting flying knee by Jorge. And now he's thinking, man, I'd rather be in that cage right now with Jorge than be fucking dead.
Exactly.
Yeah. So obviously our condolences go out to Ben and his family. Obviously,
it's good to see him back.
Yeah, it's good to see him alive. Yeah. It's good to know he's alive because throughout that period where I was getting all the ESPN updates, and I'm sure you were following it too, it was like severe pneumonia, mild pneumonia. He could die, serious cardiac, and it's like, okay, I'm seeing those. I'm like, okay, I think this guy's going out the door. I don't know but he's alive for now. We hope he pulls through. I know we've trashed on him on the podcast before, but
we do hope he pulls through.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get to 318, I just want to go over a bunch of some big boxing fights coming up. Obviously, I'm gonna make a video either tonight or tomorrow, or on Saturday. One little thing that we Oh yeah, speaking of news, I'm freaking Randy Couture.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He got freaking he almost died.
He almost died
Poor Randy.
too. Freaking, what was it,
Yeah,
motorcycle
a
accident again?
racing wreck. Oh my god, what is going on with the world, man?
Why couldn't it have been John Jones?
Okay, okay, okay.
Watch your mouth, don't be smart.
Yeah, watch your fucking mouth, you piece of shit. I'll smack you through. I'll smack you all the way from Portland to Westbrook, you fuck. Okay. So, yeah, but Randy's all right, right? I haven't heard anything.
Last thing I think he was alright, but I don't know if he was awake or not.
Jesus Christ. If you're anybody, you have probably heard that Manny Pacquiao, at age 40 something, is coming back to fight. And he's fighting Mario Barrios, who's a pretty good titleist. He fought on the undercard of Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. It was a pretty good fight. It was a fight that I thought he was losing at times, but it was still a good fight. And he's a good fighter. I don't think Mario Barrios is anything really special. I think he's a pretty good welterweight fighter. Probably top 10 in that division for sure. But here's this crazy man. As old as Pacquiao is, and his last fight he fought Yorandas Ugas like 2 or 3 years ago, and he did lose that fight. But he's still, even though he's old, there's a chance he could win this fight. I mean, probably not, because I think the last fight he was, he really had a chance of winning was the Keith Thurman fight, and he did win that. I do think it will be close though. I think that Manny will make it a fight, but at 46, man, I don't know. And it's gonna be crazy. I think if he wins this fight, dude, I think that will mean he has had like well over 20 title fight. Not victories, but I think 20 different titles. Like 25. He's like, it's crazy, dude.
That's wild.
I think if he wins this fight, it will make him like a 15-time world champion. That's pretty crazy, dude. He's already gone for 8 or 9 weight classes. I mean, Jesus Christ. He is one of the best of all time. I think he is fighting for money. I think he does. Honestly, I've heard things that he needs money for more campaigning, which, I don't blame him. But, we'll see. And then obviously a big one is the it's the undisputed heavyweight championship between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois on this Saturday. It's going to be held in Wembley Arena. Dana should try to take some notes, but he won't. He won't. Did you know that that for this card 318 they tried to get it in the Superdome, and Dana said, "I'll never have a fight there."
Don't surprise me.
Just judging by the reaction that Dustin was getting all week in this press conference, dude, there's no doubt in my mind that he could fill. No, I doubt in my mind that he could fill. Yeah, especially with Max, he could fill the Superdome. Not completely, but they could fill 60,000 seats. They could, but they would have to lower the price by $120, and that's not going to happen, unfortunately. So,
outpricing the fan.
Yeah. I think we should make a video about the outpricing stuff, but
yeah,
let's move on. So, in terms of Usyk versus Dubois, the first fight was close. I'll go into more detail in my own video, but this is a fight where I think that it's going to be more the same. I think Usyk will win. I think he'll either finish him or he'll get a decision. I just don't think Dubois, besides his power, has any super great boxing skill. That means he's going to outbox. He's going to have to knock Usyk down a couple times to really have a chance of winning, and I just don't see that happening. And then I did want to shout out one more fight. I believe, where is it? So I want to shout out Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's fighting. I'm going to Judah Bantamweight. He's fighting a junior bantamweight unification fight between Fumalele Kafu. As most boxing fans know, Jesse Rodriguez is one of the most rising guys in terms of boxing pound for pound. He's been fighting really actively, and And just say, he's not funny, he's a good guy, but I do expect him to win, and I expect him to carry on and continue building a better pound resume. So, and obviously it's a far way away, but obviously, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford officially confirmed, for September 13th. I gotta be honest, I haven't been liking the promotion for the fight so far. But speaking of promotion, and let's move on to UFC 318. That promo after the press conference, dude, that was fucking sweet.
Here's what I'll say right now.
Dude, come on.
I've been shitting on the UFC how they've been promoting fights recently.
That was good.
This fight week, they have been promoting this fight more than any fight card this year.
And I'm not saying that. Okay, so I think you noticed that when Dustin came out to take his seat. I think you noticed when Dustin came out to take his seat. Did you notice that everybody on the stage at his side gave him a fist bump?
Yeah, dude. They all respect that man.
Well, no, but here's the thing. Now this. What, are you good?
Yeah, one sec. Keep talking.
Okay, so Isaiah's gone for a second. He's he's probably off. Doing something with Tom Aspinall. It's his favorite fighter right now.
No.
You. No. Oh, no. You know what he's doing? He went to his Tony shrine and was like, "Please don't let Sal Papi Nakamo. Please, I beg you."
We're not talking about this fight on the channel, all right? We ain't talking about that fight on the channel.
Are you sure about that?
I can't.
I'm gonna make a video. If Tony loses, I'm gonna make a video, and I'm gonna make you cry on the video. Oh, oof, one on. So yeah, no. It was where was I? I got lost.
Everyone fist bumping Poirier.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So just from my perspective, like the fact that everyone did makes me believe that Dustin's, whether it's him or his management team, has been taking a really big part in promoting the event themselves. Through the UFC. I'm not saying the UFC isn't doing, because they are. The UFC is promoting it more than they have promoted last, most events. But I feel like it seems to me that the UFC in this event is more collaborative with Poirier's team for the promotion. Because I'll be honest, I don't think without Dustin's connections or his ties to Louisiana that the UFC ever comes here and we even get a good promo like this. So it was really good to see. I'm really glad they did that, and he's been getting his flowers all week. Very good reason and granted, of course, and it's glad to see it's glad to see the UFC back in Louisiana. So, all right, but let's get to the card. Are you gonna have it where are you having your breakdown where you have the fights?
Yeah, I have it. I have it next to us, and I have our faces. First fight of the night, we have Carly Judas versus Nicole Cagliari.
Yeah, I don't care about this fight.
We still gotta break it down, actually. We still gotta break it down.
I think I'll just go with Nicole Cagliari because she's Brazilian. I don't know about this Carly Judas. Dude, she's 4-2.
Surprisingly enough, I was gonna pick the Cagliari too. She is the underdog in this fight. Carly is the better striker, longer ranger striker, but Nicole, if she gets it against the fence and get the hold of Carly and she can get it to the
she's a wrestler.
Grind it out, maybe a split decision. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Bruno Ferreira, who you and me will never forgive for knocking out RoboCop. Unforgivable, dude. He's fighting 6-0 Jackson McVee, who is supposed to make his debut against who was it first?
Cedricus Dumas.
Yeah, Cedricus Dumas, and then he was in the dog cage with his ankle monitor. He couldn't get out, and then they threw in this guy Christopher Ewart from Chile. He had weight problems, so the fight was scrapped. So McVeigh never got a chance to make his
such a big weight problem. They cut him. I'm pretty sure.
You mean the York guy?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. He's pretty big for 185. Yeah. So Bruno Ferreira is a pretty big favorite. He's minus 650. So he's a pretty big favorite on this card. I think he's just going to go in there. I think, if it's on paper, he should go and knock him out.
Yeah, I think Bruno does.
He is shorter. He is shorter. He has a bit of a reach disadvantage, but what do you think?
I mean, Jackson more of his style is more of a grappling based, and he has kind of soft hands from what I've seen. And Bruno obviously has more UFC experience, so I think he's just gonna find his mark within like that first round and
Yeah,
knock him out. I think Bruno's live for a first
yeah,
round
he
fight.
should.
Yeah, he
You know what I'm
should
saying? He should.
with the odds. He should.
Yeah, and these odds are warranted because it's not Jacoby Smith versus Nico Price, but
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we
This
both
next
got
fight,
Bruno Ferrer by knockout.
Yeah, first round. I'm gonna put money on him to win by first round knockout. Yeah.
Me too. All right, moving on. We have
this next fight. Oh
Ryan Spann versus Lucas Brzeski.
These guys both. Okay, I'll say. All right, let me say one thing about Ryan Spann, man. There was a time when he beat Dominic Reyes that we're like, hey, he could be something, and then he turned back because his name is Superman. No, he's Super Can. He is Ryan Super Can Spann. That is Ryan's nickname. Ryan Super Can Spann. He's not Superman. Even when he's not that Dominic Reyes, I think Dominic Reyes was just like, probably
he was still thinking about John in the fight. He's like, yeah, I beat John.
Yeah. As soon as Dominic Reyes stopped doing that, he became good again.
Yeah, but honestly, I think Ryan Spann does win this fight because Lucas Brzeski is even shittier than Ryan Spann.
Yeah, he's lost to if I'm correct, didn't he lose to sorry, did you hear that or no?
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry, no, it's just it's my freaking it's my best friend's little 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 nephew. He's like 7 years old. He's like, let's play Fortnite. I'm like, I'm gonna play fucking Fortnite with you. Stop calling me.
Enough.
Sorry about that, bro. Enough. I'm gonna shake the little kid and go, up. If I'm correct, didn't Lucas Brzeski lose to Shamil Gaziev?
Maybe.
No, he lost to McParkin. He lost to Waldo. He lost to Martin Boudet. Yeah, he sucks.
But he surprisingly does have a win over
Walter Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Before we continue, let me hear it. Let me hear it about him.
3 heel hooks in a row, man. That's impressive.
That's all you're gonna say.
Dude,
come on.
There's a reason I put him on the list, all right? And you know what's funny? He called out.
This. He has earned his number 19 spot.
Here's
We're not moving him. We're not moving him up.
Here's what I think. He called out Mario Pinto. Mario Pinto wants to fight him. They're gonna make that match, and as soon as that match happens, you're like, all right, if Mario beats him, we're putting him on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. That's fair.
That's fair. But
right?
Anyway, I think Ryan Spann knocks out Lucas Brzeski in the first round.
Yeah,
Lucas has slow striking, and if he has slow striking, his defense is going to be slow. So his hands going back to his face to defend is just not going to be there, and Ryan Spann's just going to find his mark, I think. Yeah, Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio.
How's this thing?
What do you think about this fight,
man? All right. It's a sort of a weird one, I think, because Jimmy Crute 3 years ago was good. He was up and coming, and then honestly, I don't think.
Let me tell you, he hasn't won a fight since 2020.
Really? Is you sure about that?
Yes. I think it's October 2020, and I think it's Modestas
look at this. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right.
He hasn't won a fight since then.
Yeah, so here's the thing about it, dude. Is he started his UFC career. He was he submitted Paul Craig, which is impressive. Knocked out Sam Alvey. Lost to Misha Kirkunov. Submitted Mikhail Jacek and knocked out Bukakis. And I was about to mention, ever since his fight with Anthony Smith, which I would believe was on the undercard of Kamaru and Jorge.
That was the first fight on the main card, I'm pretty sure.
He was, and I remember we were watching that with our boy Steve, stoned out of his mind, and the first round was good. Anthony won, and Jimmy Crute had a problem with his leg, and he stupidly kept stomping it, and then he hurt it even more, and then I thought, all right, that's it, and it was just like, come on. But no, but here's the thing: is like, ever since then, he has not recovered at all. He hasn't recovered since that fight, even to this day.
He got knocked out. Like
he fought that. His last fight was the award-winning Emmy guy.
His last fight was against Mr. Herpes Man himself, Rodolfo Bellato, where he got.
No. That was his name. He is now no. He is now the Emmy-winning.
Oh, okay. No. Yes, okay.
He's the Emmy. Did you watch the last fight? Yeah, he faked that shit.
I thought you were disagreeing with what I was saying. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, no. He definitely has herpes. He definitely, dude. I remember after that came out and he posted a picture of him going, "Oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. I never thought herpes would keep me out of a fight." It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
That was, oh my God. I'm never going to forget that.
So he has herpes with all the blotto, and then he has an Emmy performance. This guy's something else.
But you know how bad Jimmy Crute is?
He couldn't even beat him.
He got a 10-8 against him in the first round. Couldn't finish him.
And then lost the next two and then got a draw, yeah.
That's how bad Jimmy Crute is. So honestly, I'm picking Marcin to win this fight. He's a better kickboxer.
Pratnio is a far better striker. I think Jimmy Crute's probably, in terms of the grappling, we've seen Pratnio grapple. He's not great, but he's not bad either. So I feel like for Jimmy Crute to win this fight, he has to try to grapple. But we've seen him grapple. It's been very varied in terms of his grappling ability. So this is kind of up in the air, man. I'll go with man, I'm gonna have a little faith. I think Jimmy Crute gets it done. I think Jimmy Crute turns back the clock, has one good performance, and then the next fight he'll shit the bed.
All right, that's fair.
But you are correct in saying that Pratnio is the more technical fighter, the more skilled. He has probably more chances to win. I just think Jimmy Crute might want to. It's been 5 years since he had a win, dude.
Well, here's what I'm
thinking. To get a win.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm picking Marcin because Jimmy retired after losing to Alonzo Menafield and was like, oh, I'm young again. I feel ready. Comes back into his home country of Australia. Can't even finish a dude who's a bum. And if you can't do that, I'm sorry. He's not winning. In my opinion, I'm picking.
Well, he was supposed to fight Marcin Pratnio on the 312 card, but Pratnio had to pull out.
Still, can't finish a short notice guy.
What?
Can't finish a short notice guy.
Well, it wasn't super short notice. It was 3 weeks, but still, yeah.
I'm picking Marcin with this fight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Adam Fugit versus Islam Dulatov.
So, am I correct in thinking that Dulatov is the guy that's the super he's a highly touted prospect for contender series?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's 11-1.
Very good.
He's good, man. I mean, this kid, he's got something, man. I think his nickname is the Ripper, and dude, he looks shredded, big. He had a pretty good finish on the contender series. I'm not against a good fighter, but still.
I mean, and Adam Fugit's a pretty durable. He's a pretty, pretty good guy. But
yeah, he's got some. Yeah, I'll say this about Dulatov. He's got a win over Will Chope, former UFC guy. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He fought. He was 8-1. Chope was 42-19. That's a lot of fights. And he submitted, now I'm sure Chope is like, how old is he? Probably like 50 now. He's old as shit. Yeah, he's only he's 34. That's not that's pretty embarrassing. But no, yeah, he's fought some good guys, but it's a pretty big step up. I'll say this, but Adam Fugit's not he's not shit. He's not a shitty fighter. I know he lost to Michael Morales, but he was given a young Morales a decent fight before.
I think Adam Fugit's I think he's pretty durable enough that I don't think
He's pretty durable.
Dulatov is going to finish him on the feet, but I think Dulatov is going to submit him instead.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Dulatov's going to go for the submission. I think more often,
I
to
think
be
Adam
hedges
Fuga's a
bets.
big step up from the Contender Series. I mean,
Yeah, he is a big step up, but I wouldn't view Adam Fuga as like mid-level guy on the verge
no,
of being ranked. He's a in terms of MMA, he's a solid MMA fighter, who I wouldn't say is bottom of the barrel UFC, but might put him in the same category as someone like Matthew Semmelsberger or something like that. Someone who's got good power, good overall skills. If let's be honest, if Dulatov is a hype job,
we're going to find out.
But say if he is, then Adam Dugan's gonna, he's gonna destroy him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So we'll see. I'm gonna pick Dulatov, just because of his hype, and I'm hoping he's something good, but we'll see.
we'll see. I mean, if he is, that's another prospect in the welterweight division.
Yeah, and it was funny. I think we've talked about this before, but 3 or 4 years ago, like, man, welterweight sucks. This is got Colby and Umaru and Jorge. This division's garbage. I mean, he got Dilbert, but he's still a lightweight. And now, I think we mentioned it. This division is on freaking fire. And if Islam Dulatov can get in there and get some wins, that's another guy down the road.
Damn
hey,
right.
I was going to say, a view for your boy. If your boy Jack is going to be a long-range champion, he's got some fucking work to do. There is some.
This is what I'm saying. Jack's going to become the GOAT because he's got to beat a lot of good guys, man.
Here's the thing. If he beats all of the guys in the welterweight division that are up and coming, he beats them all, and then he fights a guy like Dulatov in 3 or 4 years as he's dominating and keeps winning, dude, man, that's a good resume. But we don't know. He's got to get past Islam first.
He will.
I'm not Dulatov. Makachev. Different Islam.
All right. So we both got Islam Dulatov winning this fight?
Yeah, I think he's going to probably – I think I agree with you. I think he'll submit him round 1 or 2, probably.
Yeah. Tebe Gautier versus Robert Valentin.
I'm so glad that this fight is not on the main card, because this fight was on the main card for at least a couple weeks. And I was like, I get this off. Thank goodness. Robert Valentin is a good, solid fighter. Now, I know he got wrestle raped by Torres Finney, but Torres Finney is a cannonball. And let's be honest, dude, we all know Torres Finney is juicing the gills. So
Don't worry.
It's obvious he's juicing.
Take him out.
But Tebe Gautier, it looks like he might be juicing. Now, maybe these black guys are just like Francis. And, I don't think Torres Finney is.
He's from Cameroon
Gautier is, maybe he's from the same salt mine as Francis, because he's from Cameroon, right?
Yeah, he's from Cameroon as well.
So, bro, wouldn't that be funny if he's like, after he wins, he goes, yes, I was in the same salt mine as Francis, and he gave me 5 wedgies a day. He's like, and Francis was like, yes, I did. You still suck.
You still suck, brother.
No, brother. No, that'd be funny if he like says up in salt mine, and then 5 minutes later, Kamaru has him on his podcast, like, brother. And Kamaru was like, yeah, and the guy's like, I don't fucking know you. Who the fuck are you? Kamaru was like, you're my brother, African brother. Yeah. Gautier is a good fighter, man. He looked really good in his debut.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, man. If he blows away Valentin, okay, it's time to give him a step up. But if he wins barely, I think they got to keep him, at this level. But we'll see. Valentin's not a slouch. He is a good striker, so we'll see what happens.
I think his best bet is to get this as the ground. I think at Tebe,
just to be safe, because Valentin's a pretty good striker. I know he's been. He has been knocked out, but he's a pretty decent striker overall.
Yeah.
And it was pretty clear that his ground game is not sufficient enough if you're a good wrestler.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about Gautier's grappling. We haven't seen him grapple that much, but
that's why I think Valentin's best bet is the ground, because we don't really know about Gautier's grappling much.
Yeah, we don't know.
And Robert's a pretty decent striker, but Ateba's punches has 10 times more power on it than.
Yeah, he's got some good power on him.
And he's patient.
And he put someone like Valentin out, because I know that Ryan Loder knocked him out, but it wasn't right away. It was an accumulation of stuff. Torres Finney sucks. So,
but
we'll see. I am excited to see Gautier fight, because he is someone that does have the potential to be someone good down the line.
He's patient. So. He picks his shots well. He doesn't, chase a finish.
He's 7-1. He's he's young. He's 23. He's young, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely good, man.
I'm picking Mateba to knock him out.
He is jacked. He's jacked.
I think Mateba knocks him out first round.
Yeah, he probably does. I think he never gets to finish no matter what. Probably.
Yeah.
I hate this fucking guy.
Francisco Prado versus Nikolai Valentinnikov.
Yeah, it's that guy I hate. I can't stand this guy.
Yeah, the guy that lost to Austin Vanderford.
Well, dude, you've been watching fighting as long as I have. You never see guys from Kazakhstan. Yeah, you'll see Shavkat say, yeah, I want to smash Lorosenko, but it's not like they're assholes. And I think it was a miscommunication thing. I think Vertenikov, like he got something wrong or whatever. But dude, why you gotta push the guy? That's to be a dick. So screw him. Prado's good, but he's young as crap. He's like 22, 23.
He lost to Jake Matthews,
who's a good fighter, who's really good.
Yeah, he lost to Daniel Zellhuber.
Who should be ranked. You're fighting a ranked guy next.
He lost but he lost to Jamie Malarkey.
Yeah.
But Valentinnikov, I mean, hasn't won a fight yet in the UFC, right?
I'm pretty sure. I think if he loses, he definitely get cut for sure.
And he lost to Danny Barlow.
Well, yeah.
And that has aged terribly because Sam Patterson put Danny Barlow.
Left-handed God. Dude, I was so confident in Danny, and then Sam knocked him out, and then you said, you're like, oh, your boy's L. I'm like, you more too, you fucking asshole.
Honestly, I'm picking Francisco Prado to win this fight because.
Well, it's crazy, man. I'm looking at Vertenikov. He's 35 years old. He's not young. He's 35. He's his first caliber fight was he fought Michael Morales on the Contender Series, and he did go to distance, but he gets to the UFC, loses Danny Barlow, gets finished by Austin Vanderford. This is his last chance. If he goes 0-3, he's going to get cut. So but as we know, sometimes when guys are about to get cut, they fight good. So I don't know. And Prado's young as shit. So
Prado is also kind of small for welterweight.
He is small, so I think that there's a chance that Vertenikov could go in there and get a decision or a late stoppage. I don't know, but in terms of like the speed and the power and the youth, it's all on Prado. So
yeah,
I think he'll win if he fights smart, because I think if you're Prado, you don't want to go for the knockout. No. If you find it, good. If it's open to you, do it. But but don't force anything. Be patient. Use strikes. Fight the way Austin Vanderford did, kind of shooting in and out, having good attacks. Use that style because it clearly works against Vertenikov. So yeah.
I'm picking Prado to win. Honestly, I mean he's fought.
I'm gonna pick Prado to win by decision.
Yeah,
I think he'll win a decision. If he fights smart, if he fights late, if he fights crazy, he might lose. So.
But honestly, I think Prado should go down enough lightweight at some point because
he should. Yeah, 100%.
He's just too small for these guys.
He is. He's way too small for the weight class.
So the Orc, Marvin Vittori.
Italia, Colombes.
Versus
Marvin, I
Brendan
swear to
Allen.
God, Marvin Vittori, dude. I've been to Mezzo Corona, where he's from. And
you were supposed to bring me a rock from there, and you never did.
I couldn't fit the rock on the plane. How about this? I'll stand on the coast and I'll throw it to you across the Atlantic. You gonna catch it?
All right, bet.
Dude, knowing you'd be in the water and go over here like, where'd it go? It's in the water again, dumb shit. But no, yeah, dude, Marvin, he's been saying he's gonna knock him out, and I want that to be true. So, like, if Marvin does knock him out, I will jump up and go, L'Italia, L'Italia. I'm gonna start like screaming Italian at B-dubs, and you're gonna be like, oh, the Orc. What are you looking at? What? What's the fucking thing?
I have the. It's right here on my screen, so I'm looking at it.
What?
My.
Oh yeah. Right, yeah. Dude, I mean, Brendan Allen. I mean, dude, he had his chance twice. First against Imamov and then against Fluffy, and he blew both chances really badly. Like both times, he kind of shit the bed in the later rounds and blew both times. I know that Marvin didn't look great against Roman. Lead in his last fight. So I get it, but in the first round he didn't fight bad. It was just after that I think he lost his steam and whatever.
Well, that was his first fight in like 2 years too, as well. So,
what?
That was his first fight in 2 years as well. So
yeah. I think there was definitely some rust. Here's the thing, man. Brendan Allen, he does have the skills to win this fight. Do I think he will? I don't know.
Brendan Allen on paper should win this fight.
He should win.
He is the better striker
because his resume is similar and he has been touted to have better skills. But personally, dude, I'm picking Marvin. I think Marvin's going to find a way to win. And here's the thing, man. We know Marvin is a guy that can outdog you. And there's been questions about Brendan Allen's ability to dog people. So I think if it gets into round 3,
now has the best chin, right?
For sure.
Now that Max is...
He's fought a rows of murderous punchers.
Bro, what Jared Cannonier did to him?
What?
What Jared Cannonier did to him?
What?
Jared Cannonier.
Yeah. He finished?
No, what he did to Marvin.
Yeah, he
beat it. And Marvin didn't fucking go out.
Yeah, he beat the... No, but that's what I'm saying. Dude, he fought a murderous puncher like the Killer Gorilla for 3 rounds and got his ass beat.
No, 5 rounds.
Wait, no, was that a 5-round fight, right?
That was the main event.
5 rounds. That was 5 rounds. He got his ass beat for 5 rounds and never went out. And we've seen Jared KO pretty much half this division.
Yeah.
Dude, he's... All right. I think we can both agree, right? Dude, both agree. There's no way that Brendan Allen's knocking out Marvin Vettori. That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen.
At the casino, didn't happen.
What?
Remember the video where they fought at the casino?
Yeah, he didn't knock him out though. What?
Yeah, no. I'm saying Brendan Allen had his chance to knock him out. He didn't get it done.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it in public.
So he's not getting it done in the octagon.
That's for sure. No, not against this orc. Against Grand.
No, and Marvin is my only worry is Marvin's carrying a lot of emotions coming in this fight because he did just lose his brother. So
yeah,
I
wasn't gonna bring that up, but
he might motivate him though. So honestly, due to Brendan,
if you know the whole story about his family like I do, it's a sad tragedy. So I feel for Marvin. Listen to me, dude. I'm gonna be rooting for him, but. As much as I love him, he has let me down in the past. I don't think he will. Because I think he's got the motivation from his brother. And let's be honest, if Brendan Allen loses, he is because I think of Brendan Allen as he has the Chaels, he has the Anthony Smiths, he has those guys who are his backers who say, well, he's got all these skills, and all these skills should result in wins. These skills are all he's got this ability to stand and fight, ability to grapple. Shut the fuck up. It's about especially when you're at this level, dude, you know this, right? It's less, dude. It's less about these, and it's more about what's up here and what's in here. That's what it's more about at this level of the game. And I think Marvin has both in spades more than Brendan Allen. I think that's why he wins. I'm gonna pick him to win by second round KO, maybe TKO, but Victoria all the way.
I'm gonna. Due to Brendan Allen's low fight IQ, and due to the fact that
and here's the thing, Marvin's fight IQ isn't good, but it's better than Brendan Allen's.
And due to Brendan Allen saying that Bilal's going to get the belt back at media day, I'm picking Marvin Vettori to KO him in this fight.
Dude, I swear to God, Saturday, if Marvin knocks him out, you're like, that was Bajak! You're gonna be
you're goddamn right. I'm gonna say that.
Everything for you is for Jack, though. Yeah, he's gonna
moving on. The featured prelim of the night, we've got Kyler Phillips versus our brand new prospect Vinicius Oliveira.
Lock dog, baby, he's coming. This is and dude, I'm sure you didn't miss it. The UFC made a video about 3 or 4 weeks ago. The video was, can Josh Van make it to the top? And he's at the top right now. And what did the UFC make a couple of days ago? Can Vinicius Oliveira make it to the top? I don't know, dude. But they did it for Josh Van. He proved it. And Kyler Phillips is no slouch. He's a good fighter. He's very, very technical. I don't think he has any power. I don't think he has any finishing skill. Because of most of his fights, the UFC, I think all are decisions, right? I don't think he has any finishes, right?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, so he's not a finisher. So if a finish comes in this fight, it's going to be from Oliveira. But
honestly, Kyle Phillips.
Kyle Phillips could win this fight if he stays technical and finds a way to polish up. Oliveira, if he doesn't let him do that, I think he wins.
Honestly, Kyle Phillips in the first round, you're gonna see him throw spinny shit and flashy stuff that's not gonna land, and it's kind of gonna gas him out. And
yeah, it's gonna get him the first round because most of his fights he gets the first round by being flashy. And Oliveira, if he has this, because dude, if we look at who Oliveira's fought, he just beat Said Nurmagomedov. Now, I don't think Said's a world beater, but he's still got the name and trains with Khabib and Islam. So
after in rounds 2 and 3, Kyle is just gonna try and shoot a takedown, and if he can't get the takedown, he's fucked. And against Vinicius, he's not getting that takedown because Vinicius defended Said's takedowns, he defended Ricky Simone's takedowns. Vinicius is much more of a dog and much more of a better fighter than pretty boy Kyle Phillips, and I think Vinicius is gonna put Kyle Phillips out sometime, maybe in the third round.
One second. Sorry, keep talking. I did the same thing you did. Hold on.
All right, yeah. So, I think Vinicius Oliveira definitely gets to finish in this fight. Kyle Phillips, he's an all-right fighter, but he just lost to Rob Font, and Rob Font's still a pretty good fighter at this point in his career. If you're trying to be a top guy going to the top of the bantamweight division, you should be able to beat Rob Font, and I think a guy like Vinicius could beat Rob Font. So, yeah, I think Vinicius definitely puts this guy out cold.
I sure hope so, because even though Phillips hasn't had big wins, he hasn't been finished, right? Or has he been finished by a couple guys?
I don't know. I don't think in the UFC.
Let's take a look. I know he's fought some good guys outside the UFC. Let's see. He's fought. He's 12-3, and he's kind of that. He's kind of that pretty boy. You know what I mean? He has the hair, and he has the. You know what I mean? But where he fights? He fights at the same gym as Mario Batista. You should have looked at him, Patchy. You should have looked at him. I'm looking through him.
Moving on. First fight on the main card, we've got Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. What do you think of this fight, man?
Dude, one more thing about Kyle Phillips. He did lose to Raleigh Paiva. So
there you go.
There you go.
That's all you need to know.
But remember when I was like, "Oh, he's gonna take a shot out," and that got fucking blown up.
Fucking hell.
Well, okay. Who we got next? It's the main card, right?
Yeah, we have Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber.
Dude, Daniel Zellhuber is he's
cocky. Okay. Dude, he's a cocky boy.
Okay. You want my opinion on what the UFC wants to do with him? I think he's Dana's little golden. I think he's Dana's little Oscar.
That's what I was thinking. Dude, he looks like a little young Oscar. He wants him to be his
little Oscar. He wants him to blow up, Mexican American star. Oh my God!
You know what that?
Oh my God! That is a Huma. But dude,
you know what that press conference reminded me of, though?
What?
You know what that press conference reminded me?
What?
Of the Michael Johnson Justin Gaethje press conference where Michael Johnson's talking so much shit like he did in this conference, saying some weird shit, and Justin's like, yeah. Dude,
well, okay. Well, here's what I'll say. In terms of if we're on paper with youth, speed, ability, at this point in his career, Daniel Zellhuber should be leagues in front of Michael Johnson, right?
But he's the coin flip.
And also, here's the thing. If Daniel Zellhuber does not tuck his chin and leaves his chin over the overhand, we know, dude, listen to me. Even now, Michael Johnson's got a crazy overhand. Even now.
The power's still there.
It's still there. Now, usually
he's coming off of a knockout win, I'm pretty sure.
Here's the thing. He has a win over the headlining guy in this card, Dustin Poirier. He has a win. That's why he's the coin flip.
He's coming off of a knockout win over Ottoman Azaitar, too.
Fuck the ball. It was so great. It was so great when we told Matt Favola, like, yeah, I want money. He's like, yeah, fuck. He didn't say fuck that guy, but you can't tell you, like, in his head, he goes, yeah, fuck that piece of shit. I sent him back to Morocco pecking.
Exactly.
The steamroller beats the bulldozer.
Yeah, right. Uh, but well, who do you think? Do you think Daniel wins this fight for sure?
Yeah.
On paper, he definitely should.
If he fights smart and doesn't go looking for the knockout right away, because if he gets into a brawl right away with Michael Johnson, that's asking for trouble.
Yeah.
But if he's smart, gets as soon as he gets to round 2, I think Johnson's gonna if he's going for the knockout, he's gonna gas like he sometimes does when he loses. And I think Zellhuber can capitalize. But if Zellhuber fights crazy early, who knows? And dude, here's a coin flip. We have no idea who's going to show up.
He's on a 2-fight win streak.
Is it Michael Johnson or the coin flip? What?
He's on a 2-fight win streak, so he might be due for a loss.
That's what I'm saying. He's the coin, dude. I don't think he has more than a 3-fight win streak in the UFC, right? He doesn't have more than a 3-fight win streak.
I don't think so. I don't know.
So if he wins, this is it. He's gonna lose. So he's either losing tonight or he's losing his next fight. He's not gonna get 4 in a row. That's not gonna happen.
Honestly, I got too many vibes of Justin versus Michael, so I think Daniel's gonna put this guy out like first 2 rounds.
You did
if
mention
he's smart.
You mentioned Gaethje and Michael Johnson. This could be a case where in round 1 Johnson has success and maybe even hurts him because it happened against Justin. If you watch that fight, he was kicking the shit out of Justin's ass for the first round, and Gaethje was getting hurt, and then he came back and won. So We'll see. I do expect it to be a good fight, though.
Yeah,
for sure. I'll go with Zellhuber. He's younger. He's a better prospect. But dude, I'm telling you, he's Dana's little Oscar.
Dude, the way he was smiling, the way he's talking, like, dude, you're 39 years old. You're still fighting. Well, like, come on, man. I don't want to beat you.
That's the exact same shit Oscar was saying when he was. And I'll tell you this though. Dana White better keep the coke away from this kid because he does not. He gets him on early. He could really be an Oscar his whole life.
Exactly.
And I don't think he wants to do that. Keep him away from the blow.
Dude, we got Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull.
I'm going to say one thing about this, and I'll turn it to you. I think this is Pitbull's last chance in the UFC. I think if he loses, he should retire. He should call it because, if you can't be, I think that Dan made a point at the press conference where he said that it was just a bad style matchup. Against Yair, it was a bad style. Long rangey guy. Dan's more his size. Dan's going to be closer in size. It's going to be for sure more competitive. It's going to be a good fight, no doubt. But if Pitbull can't get past Dan Ige, it means he can't get past anyone else in the top 10. And if that's the case, then personally, I don't see. I'm just going to say, if I'm Coach Eric or I'm guys in his team, if he can't get past Dan Ige, I don't see what's the point of fighting in the UFC if your goal is to get to the title. So if he loses, if I'm him, I should call it a career. Because, at that point, you've tried twice. You failed against 2 pretty good guys who are both kind of, somewhat past their primes. If you can't do it then, and also, dude, he's 37, 38? He's old. He's old himself. He's been through a lot of wars himself.
Yeah, 38 years old.
I'm going to pick Pitbull to win, but I'm not very confident in that because of all the reasons I stated. Go ahead.
It's a very close fight. It's closer than the odds should suggest.
What are the odds right now?
Last time I checked, I think Ige was like a minus 200.
He is. It's actually really close. Dan Ige is minus 180. Pitbull's plus 150.
Okay.
That's pretty close, man. That's pretty close to even. Yeah, it's pretty close to even.
My initial pick.
Pitbull's 38 years old. Dan Ige's 33.
I wanted to pick Dan Ige. It was my initial lead because I think Dan Ige's fought the better fighters.
I do think that Dan Ige could certainly win this fight. He could certainly win. Yes,
but
100%. I think he might win.
I think Ige's style might play into Pitbull's favor if Pitbull.
Yeah, I think he might.
I think Pitbull was more, thinking it was a 5-round fight against Yair. And also, he was way too undersized for
Yair. 5-round fights for the last 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? He knows this is going to be a 5-round fight. So
he knows this is going to be a 3-round fight. So I think he's actually going to try. And I think this fight either goes 2 ways for me. Either
I did hear something, dude. That A bunch of guys at his team before the Yair fight were told by the UFC it was 5 rounds and told Pitbull it was 5 rounds. So I think he generally went to that fight confused as whether it was 3 or 5 rounds, and he probably couldn't understand the English too well. So I think that is a factor. So
I see this fight going two ways. Either Danny Ega's gonna win a decision, or Pitbull's gonna become the first guy to finish Danny Ege.
yeah, and if he does finish Danny Ige, then here's what you do: you give him the loser of Mosvar and Pico. That's what you do.
He said he's gonna call out Pico if he wins this fight. So
They were rumored to fight several times at Bellator, and the problem is Pico could just never get to that top level where he was was going to fight the champion. That was the problem. It wasn't that the fight couldn't get made; it was just that Pico couldn't he couldn't break through to get to the top in Bellator. So I don't know.
I'm going to pick Pitbull. I'm gonna give him one last shot.
Yeah, same with me. I think this is truly his last chance because, as I've said before, if he cannot beat Danny Gay, it means he can't beat anybody in this top 10 or top 15, and he should retire. Yeah. At his age, now, as I said for the Yair fight, if this is Pitbull at 31, I still think a Pitbull at 31 would, I don't think he finished Yair, but I think he beat Yair in a 3-round fight. I just think he's, you can't say that there was no jitters. There was definitely some jitters in there. His first UFC fight, confused about the roundage. You know what I mean? So I think, and I wasn't happy to see Henry Cejudo. I think he's a jinx, not as bad as like Drake or something. But I think Cejudo isn't the greatest guy to train with. The fact that Khabib was like, what are you talking about? I don't think he's. I don't think he's as knowledgeable as everyone says he is. But that's just me. So.
All right, so we're both picking Pitbull. So,
I think different from you. I think Pitbull's going to win by decision. I think it's impossible to finish Danny Ige, so but we'll see.
We'll see. Moving on, we've got Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. I'm picking Kevin Holland to win this fight, dude. I think Kevin Holland at 170.
I want to say one thing about D-Rod, dude. One thing about D-Rod. When he shows up, when he really shows up, he's a solid fighter. And if he really shows up against Kevin Holland, who has a tendency to not show up himself, there's a minuscule chance he can win. But I think Kevin Holland is motivated to win this fight. They were supposed to fight once before, or I think twice before, right?
Yeah.
I think first time Kevin got hurt, and then they were supposed to fight for 279. I was, a 279 thing wasn't their fault. It was all Cumshot's fault. Piece of shit. I just want to say, I'm calling it now. I've said this for weeks. Honda Chimaev is getting finished by Dricus Duplessis in round 2. Just saying. Lock it in. Down 1,000. Motherfucker.
We'll see.
Who do you got for this fight?
I'm picking Kevin Holland. Kevin? I think Kevin Holland at 170.
I'm going to go with Kevin. It's just because I think overall he's got more skills than D-Rod. D-Rod is a good striker. I'll be honest. I think that Kevin could submit him the same way he submitted Vicente.
Honestly,
with that kind of that cool Darce he has.
I think Kevin at 170 is 10 times more motivated.
He's good.
And I think Kevin's motivated this year to break the record and get 7 fights this year and get 6 wins.
Who did he lose to this year? Lost to
RDR.
Yeah, well, I mean, I must be honest. There's a big chance he beats Rob Whittaker, so that's not a bad market record. But.
Yeah, so I think Kevin Holland actually is going to hurt D-Rod in this fight, and then he's going to lock in that Darce choke and then submit him.
Yeah, because that's what happened against Vicente. He hurt him and then got the Darce and won. I think that, is it possible for D-Rod to survive a decision? 100%. 100% D-Rod could go to distance with Kevin. He probably will if he shows up. I'll say this. If he shows up, D-Rod, and comes to win, he's going to survive a 3-round fight and probably lose 2-1 or maybe even get by decision. But if he doesn't show up, I think Kevin finishes in the first 2 minutes. But
yeah.
We'll see.
Honestly, I'd love to see if that card does happen at the White House. I'd love to see Kevin Holland versus Colby and Kevin just beat the shit out of Colby.
That would be awesome.
That would be great,
and
dude.
Beat him up in front of Trump. And it's like, hey, Trump. He says, hey, Mr. President, I beat you up your boy. Who's next?
I beat your boy.
I beat your boy. Who's next? Fucking Putin? That'd be hilarious.
That'd be great. But yeah, Kevin Holland definitely was this fight. Yeah. Moving on, we've got the co-main event of the evening. We've got Borchina, Paulo Costa
This fight
versus
I'm excited
Roman
for.
Kopylov.
I'm the Russian Chase Hooper.
The Russian Chase Hooper.
Dude, his nose is like indented. How can this guy breathe?
He probably can't.
Dude, honestly, dude, I guarantee you, he has a similar thing to Drickus. He's just not getting it fixed.
He's waiting for it to get broken in a fight, and then he can get paid by the UFC.
Yeah, he gets the comp. He's waiting for workers' comp.
Yeah, exactly.
Roman's waiting for workers' comp.
It's smart.
He's using. He is Chase Hooper. He's coming, dude. He's a dude. Now, I think we mentioned on a previous podcast before he fought Anthony Hernandez. I thought he was going to beat Anthony Hernandez. I thought he was going to beat Fluffy, and I was proven wrong. But it wasn't like Fluffy walked through him. He was just better on the ground. And I'll say this: I think if Paulo Costa stands with Roman, it's to his own peril. At Paulo's age, he's shown that he's still a good striker and stuff, but he's getting older. But dude, he's still hilarious. He's still hilarious, shaking his leg like he's on blow. The guy, I'm telling you, bro, he robbed Connor's stash. He robbed Connor's stash, dude. He robbed his stash.
Right, so I think Roman does win this fight. He's the better striker. But on the off chance Costa, after that Strickland fight, he's like, I want to bring back the Costa of old. I'm tired of being this boring shit fighter. I want to be aggressive again. And in the embedded, he has looked like he's taking shit seriously. A lot more seriously.
We'll see, dude.
Here's what I think. If Costa can bring back any sort of his old self, Roman does wilt toward the end of the fight a tiny bit.
He does.
Costa does build up. And if Costa brings back his old self, I think that will work in his favor, and he could win.
Yeah, if you look at Roman's fight against Chris Curtis, is he, even though Chris broke first, if there was a fourth round, Roman would have broke too, because he was tired as well. He just wasn't as gassed as Chris.
Yeah, so
but he was tired. The fight against Fluffy, he was tired from all the grappling. He's a great fighter, but the one question with Roman is his tank, is his gas tank. But here's the thing: we know Paulo Costa's gas tank always been suspect, but that's nothing new.
Well, it's kind of good for a guy of his, with his
size,
skills.
For a guy his size, it's pretty good.
But
I think that because his last fight was 302 against Sean, right?
Yeah,
that was the last fight, and even though he lost, I still think in the third round he was tired, but he wasn't like gassed. He was just tired a little bit. But we'll see, man. I'm gonna go with Roman. I think Roman wins. I'm not sure how or when, but I'm gonna go with Roman.
I think if
I'm crazy. Is they're the same age, man? Roman's the same age as him. Now, in terms of like overall punishment, he's taking less punishment, but
honestly, as a fan, I kind of would love to see Paulo win.
Yeah,
but we haven't seen Paulo, be able to be how he used to be. So, just based on what we've seen, I do think Roman will win this fight. And
he has a slight reach advantage. Paul's an inch taller. Right now, the odds are minus 275 for Roman, plus 225 for Paulo. I think this is the first time. I don't think Paulo's been a favorite since he. I don't know. He's been the dog recently of most of his career, so we'll see.
The one thing about
the last time he was a favorite was when he fought Luke Rockhold, which was the last fight that he was really aggressive in.
I will say this: the body kicks he was ripping on Marvin Vettori in the Apex, the sounds it made. Oh.
Yeah, but only threw 4 or 5 because he was big as a tree trunk.
Well, he also missed weight, so.
Which is on him.
So
his wine, I tell you, he's got a wine obsession. I tell you, he likes his vino. Secret juice. Dude, I'm surprised that no one yelled secret juice.
We're both picking
what was he talking about? Someone asked him about some other fighter. Who was he going to send a message to? Who was that about? You know what I'm talking about?
You don't know what he's talking about?
I didn't hear him say a name. I didn't hear the name.
The Gourmet Chechen.
Oh, Chimaev?
He still wants Chimaev, dude.
Oh, dude. Okay, wouldn't that be crazy if Dricus beats him and then Chimaev's like, oh, he'll come back, and then Paul knocks him the fuck out, and it's like, dude. Honestly, if you think about it, if Paulo beats Roman,
if Paulo beats Roman, Hamzat's going to lose because then we're getting Hamzat versus Paulo.
Yeah, well, but that's what I'm saying. He'll lose, and then he'll lose to Paulo, and then he'll fight Roman, and then Roman will beat him, and then Chimaev's 0-3, and then he kills himself, and then everything's solved.
It's great.
The Chechen mom, yeah, the Chechen mom has him whacked. The mom has him whacked or something. It probably Khabib. Khabib's like, you're disgrace to all Russians.
Disgrace. All right, so yeah, we're both picking Roman to win this fight.
Yeah, but it's going to be exciting for sure, no doubt about it.
All right, and
main event,
dude.
Oh man,
it's the last dance, the final ride of Dustin Poirier's legendary career.
Man, I could sit here. I'm gonna give a full analysis of this fight
for a whole hour,
for hours. But all I'm gonna say, man, is I think this fight should be celebrating. Of course, Dustin, but Max as well. These guys, as Dustin said, it's a 13-year trilogy. There are very few trilogies that go over. I think the only one that was closer is Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. Their trilogy was over. I think 9 or 10 years. That's a long time. This is 13 years. As Dustin said, they were kids when they fought. They were men. The second fight, and now they're especially Dustin, and now they're old men. Max is still 33, but he's been for the grinder as well. And here's all I'll say this: many people have said this week that everyone's worried that. Also, I love Ron Perlman, but who told him to say that knock? Listen, great knockout against Justin, but let's not be hasty because you heard them call it the greatest knockout in UFC history.
You probably got told to say that.
No. Well, dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying screw whoever told Ron Perlman to say that because, listen, I don't have a problem with saying it's one of the great. It is one of the top 10. But let's not be hasty. There's a lot of knockouts. The Edson knockout's amazing. There's so many knockouts that, I think the reason why it's viewed as that is it's the last second. But everyone I realize it was a fight that Max was dominating. You know what I mean? So it's a little different than other knockouts, but still a great one. Unfortunately, I don't like how I think the UFC did that for the promotion, for this card, which it helps for casuals, but as hardcores, we're like, because both me and you were like, really? But that's how hardcore we are. We got mad at Ron Perlman. We're like, wait, it's not Ron's fault, but UFC, you shouldn't say that. We're nerds. That's how much of nerds we are. Put the glasses on. Put them on. I know they're right there. Put them on. Mauricio Ruffi. Put them on. The fighting nerd is back. Down 1,000. Motherfucker.
Honestly, this fight, I've been seeing all the videos all week of, they're doing, this is how you should celebrate a legend retiring, give the whole week to them because they've been doing it right by Dustin.
They have.
Everyone giving him notes of what it means, what Dustin means, and seeing Dustin get all emotional. It was like, damn, Saturday's gonna be a fucking bitch. But I don't know, dude. I do want Dustin to win this fight and then retire and then take that BMF and retire it so we never have to see it again.
What?
I want Dustin to get that belt and then retire with it so he retires the belt. I don't want to see the belt again.
Well, here's the whole thing, bro. Let's have a little excerpt about the BMF title. It was something that it was made for Nate. That's who it was made for, right? It was made for Nate Diaz, and then he didn't win it. So it's been carried on. Listen to me. I love Jorge. I love Justin. I love Max. But let's be honest. As all those guys are bad motherfuckers. But I think everyone knows because let's be honest. When Nate hurt Leon at UFC 263, that was pretty much him saying, I'm the BMF. He didn't win, but that's the indelible image of Nate. Is
Yeah.
he's always scrapping. He is the baddest motherfucker of all time because he's Nate Diaz. That's who he is. And I think, because that belt sort of signifies Nate Diaz in a way, and guys like that, that's why it's still around. And the UFC likes that. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think Dustin or I don't think Dustin or Max, I don't think either of them care about the freaking belt. I don't think they give a shit. Now that's just me. I don't think they care. And I wouldn't care if I was making $1.5 million in my fight purse. I wouldn't give a shit.
Honestly, it's just a tactic to help you get more pay-per-view points and more money. So
yeah. And here's the thing. If the UFC is saying, well, without the title, we couldn't do a 5-round, you can do a 5-round fight. Fucking Conor versus Dustin was a main event for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Twice without a title on the line. And yes, I know there's no Conor, but dude, you could sell a 5-round fight between Max and Dustin. Dude, here's what I'm saying, and you know this. This fight, this fight does not need the BMF title. It doesn't need it. It doesn't need it at all. The BMF title is just aesthetic. It's just an aesthetic thing to say it's a title fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all it is. And here's the thing. Here's my problem with this thing. Because of the title, Max is going to walk out last. And that's the problem I have with it. It's Dustin should be walking out last. It's his last fight. He's the guy. He's the attraction. He should be walking. Now, I don't think Dustin really cares about walking out first or second. I don't think he
gets getting walked out by Lil Wayne, so he don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't care. But me, if I'm Dustin's promoter, I am hounding them. I'm like, why the hell are we doing this? Okay, let Max have the title, but let Dustin walk last. It's his last fucking fight. Let him be the last guy to walk on his last night. That's just, personally for me, I don't like that. But go ahead.
Honestly, that belt's a fucking curse, as we all know.
It is.
Jorge won the belt, and then it took him 2 fights, but he got put out cold by Usman.
Yeah.
And then Justin won the fight, or won the belt, and then got put out cold by Max. And then that's when Max won the belt. And then
he won it against Dustin. This is the second time. This is the second time Dustin's fought for it. The first time didn't go too well.
It might be a blessing because now if Dustin wins, he rides off into the sunset and he doesn't get knocked out in his next fight. Because when Max won it, he got knocked out in his next fight, and Max never been knocked out.
Yeah. I don't know, but as everyone knows, you are the you are Mr. Prophecy. You're Mr. Mysticism, whatever. That's not me. I'm more grounded, I think. But I will agree, it doesn't have a good track record, this belt, and I think it's just an aesthetic thing. Because as we said, this fight doesn't need the BMF belt. It shouldn't have it. Because in my opinion, I want Dustin to walk last. Because Max does. Am I correct in saying that Max doesn't have a ranking at lightweight, or does he because he beat Justin?
He's ranked 5.
Okay, so he's actually higher ranked than Max. So actually, never mind. If it wasn't for the title, he actually would rank. He would walk last anyway. So all right, never mind.
Honestly, I know you originally said Max was going to win. I've heard a lot of people saying Max is win, but I think Dustin wins, dude.
See, here's the thing with this trilogy. This is not a trilogy where you can look at both fights and really take much away, because I think if Dustin fights the same way he did in their second fight, he has a good chance. The problem is that was at the absolute pinnacle of Dustin's prime. And the thing is, we don't know about Max's prime. He could be in his, because as we said, he might be in his prime now, and the fight against Ilya might have just been him, killing himself to make 145. You know what I mean? But we don't know. Max's prime could have been 5 years ago. We have no idea. So, it's hard to gauge where it's going to go in terms of like who's better now, who's been more, who's been better. It's obviously Max, but in terms of who might have it, I mean, there are several trilogies where a guy wins 3 times, but it's going to be hard because I think that Max will come out really aggressive and fast, and I think he's going to look really good. But if you're Dustin, you just got to get to the 4th, 5th round, because as great as Max is, and he here's the thing: every time he's gone the fourth or fifth round, and he's gone against a guy who's a grinder himself, that being Volk, that being the Justin fight was different because Justin was actually kind of countering more and was allowing himself to get caught more on his own counters when he came in. But I honest, if Dustin fights the same way Volk did in the third fight, which is more of a recent match than what he fought in Atlanta in their second fight, then I think he might have success. But here's what I'll say. For this fight, I don't really care who wins. I want a great fight because, listen to me, if it's a 3-round war and then Dustin gets put out in the fourth, I don't think he's going to complain. I think Dustin will go, you know what? It was a war, a great fight. Now, of course, Dustin would love to win a 5-round drag-it-out war like the first fight. Second fight, sorry. And I'm sure he'd love that. But I think as long as it's a good fight, I think Dustin will be content. So
here's why I think Dustin's gonna win. Well, it's because Max and it's not based off their first 2 fights. It's because Max in his whole career has always struggled against a guy who can box with him. It happened with Volk. It happened with Dustin. It happened with Ilya. It happened with Connor.
I do want to correct you. Okay, so I think the Connor fight, if you watch it, that was all ground. That was almost all ground fight. Connor just took him to the ground.
True.
And now the other thing is, I think I want to say Volk and Dustin in his second fight. I think, as I meant to say, both of those guys are kind of grinder strikers where they're very aggressive. Ilya, in terms of just boxing skill, Max has better skill overall than Volk and Dustin, but he lost for other reasons. The reason why it's Ilya is because Ilya's a better boxer. He's the only guy that's a better boxer.
The guys that can, strike and box with Max Holloway, Max is always struggling with.
No. Yeah, so
Max,
just to finish my point, I am agreeing with you, and I said,
well, can I finish my breakdown before you?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Max has always struggled against guys who can box with him, and we've seen it throughout his whole career. And for the first time in his career, he's coming off a knockout loss, and it's not a TKO loss; it's a knockout loss.
And he wasn't out cold. But
it's still a knockout.
It was for sure.
And we've seen guys
who was boxing, he would not have made a 10 count.
Whose whole career they rely on their durability and they rely on their chin to help them win fights. Once that dam breaks, you can never put it back together. And with guys who can box out with him, Dustin does have more power than Max, all right, at lightweight. Max at lightweight does carry more of a punch, and he is a lot better since he doesn't have to kill himself to make 145. But
we just don't know which version of Max is going to show up. That's the thing. We don't know.
I mean, with Justin Gaethje, when Max put him to sleep, it's like, damn, he got put out cold for the first time in his career. Is he going to be the same going into this physio fight? It didn't matter with him. He was the same type of guy.
Just stop you, brother. Sorry, your camera's a little to the.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So that.
I was just saying because you were literally out of the frame. Like, you couldn't see. I couldn't. You were out of the frame, right? So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so in the Justin fight and physio fight, like going in, I'm like, damn, is being put out cold going to affect Gaethje? Didn't really affect him. He walked in, same type of guy, fought the same, and with Max's mentality.
Here's one reason about it. Justin did take some more time off. Max has not taken as much time off as Justin did.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, it's at least now. If we're saying has he recovered? Probably, but if there's one guy, who's going to put the heavy hands on you and see if you've recovered, it's Dustin. Yeah. So I think going back to your point and go back to the first point you made about guys, the guys Max struggles with is that in those fights he struggled with Volk and Dustin first fight is the fact that when you look at Max's boxing. Where he struggles inside. He is awesome at mid-range, great at long range.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Gaethje fight, when Gaethje dropped him, it was kind of he was pushing him inside and went over the top. And Dustin, when he fought Chandler, for instance, he, you know, I think he realized that Chandler is probably the best inside fighter. That's why no one fights Chandler on the inside. They use the outside of mid range. And I think where Dustin in this fight, he should get inside because I think the reason why he won the first fight, or sorry, the first fight, the second fight, which was in Atlanta, I think he found success, and if you watch that fight, which I did recently, in the rounds he won, he was pretty much kind of getting a sort of, what's the word? He wasn't getting under Max's jab, but he was kind of pairing off of it and getting in the mid range. And if he can do that, I think he'll find more success. It's just that we don't know, as you mentioned, as I mentioned, we don't know which Max is going to show up.
We do have to,
in terms of his durability, how he'll look, we just don't know.
We do have to remember in that second Max Dustin fight, if it not were for the cage wall, Max would have been dropped for the first time in his career.
I'm against two.
Dustin the second time.
Yes.
He got saved by the fence.
He did save by the fence.
They didn't give it to him, but Justin did knock Max down in their fight.
I don't know why they didn't give it to him because that wasn't a trip. That was a knockdown.
Yeah, it was a knockdown, and then Ilya, obviously put him out.
We all know that the UFC doesn't really, is super bad about their stat keeping. I think we've spoken on this before. Me and I both agree. The way they keep significant strikes and the way they tell them, it's absolutely horrendous. It's so terrible. It doesn't tell the tale because the word significant is so varied in how you view significant.
Yeah.
That's the problem with significant. That's why boxing, talking about, it's the categories where it's jabs, it's power punches, the body punches, that shows you because you don't know how, 70 shots landed in the body. Yeah, you don't know, we don't know how hard those were, but if he landed 6 body shots and he knocks him out to the body, okay, those 6 body shots might have done something. So, but that's a separate rant. Sorry, I'll stop that. But
yeah. I'm going to give my prediction. I think the first fight, Dustin submitted him. The second fight, he got him by decision.
13 years ago. So, let's throw out the window. But yeah,
I think he gets the trifecta. I think Dustin gets the trifecta. I think this is a back and forth war. I think going into the 5th round, you see Mike Brown in the corner like, Dustin, 5 minutes left in the rest of your career. Give it all, man. Gives him some motivational speech, and Dustin gets a TKO win over Max in the 5th round.
That'd be pretty cool. Well, here's the thing. If he does do that, I think that's the perfect end to his career. Yeah, the perfect end. Because, now, I know this won't happen, but what if, freaking Islam showed up and just put the lightweight title around him? And then Ilya's in the crowd going, huh? Where'd my title go? What the hell?
What the
fuck? Where'd my title go?
I'm just
but it's just in terms of as much as everyone loves Max, and I'm sure the people there who are rooting for Max against Justin. Sorry, not Justin. Dustin. I think that. And for me and you, we would prefer for Dustin to win a drag it out 5-round war and finish him because it would be the perfect image. Because in terms of legacy, Max's legacy, it's pretty secure. He's an all-action fighter who gives his all. It's secure. In terms of because Max has talked about that he wants to become a double champ now and all this stuff. And listen to me, we've all said it. He could still do it. But if he's going to do that and be that guy, he's going to get through Dustin quickly. He'll get for him in 2 rounds. If he is going to become that guy who's still in his prime, right? But if he's not, because of all the damage, all the wars, all the stuff you mentioned about how his style, has issues and stuff, the inside, he's struggling with guys who box well with him, all these factors, if it gets to the 4th or 5th round and it's close, I think that Dustin might pull it out. And, dude, that place to be rocking. We'd be going crazy. That would be amazing. And listen to me, if it goes to the 5th round, it doesn't matter if Dustin wins to me, as long as they're trading at the end. Now, not trading it like Justin, because I think Dustin's smart enough not to know that. Yeah. But trading enough to where John Anik would say, and they swing to the final bell. Something like that. That would be an indelible image of their careers, and it'd be great for both guys. So, as I said before, I don't really care who wins. Well, actually, I want Dustin to win, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I want Dustin.
In terms of my prediction, I'll go with Max, just because we don't know how he'll be. He might be great, he might not be. I don't know. We do know what Dustin is. We saw him go 5 rounds with Islam Makhachev, who's supposed to be the greatest fighter in the world by miles, and he went 5 rounds or into the 5th round against him. So
my pick is Dustin. I'm picking Dustin.
Yeah.
I also put a bet on Dustin because they have him at underdog odds.
I put bets on both. I put several bets on both guys. Yeah.
But looking at Dustin's whole career before I get off this, he never won the title. He obviously is one of the best fighters to have never won the undisputed title.
I think he's probably the best, in my opinion. But I think he's, in terms of his resume, and going back to, I'm sorry, I want to interrupt you 1 second, bro. Just one thing about his legacy. Dustin's legacy is complete, similar to Max's. But as you mentioned, a 5th round TKO win over Max would be a big cherry on top of his career.
Yeah.
If he's able to say, hey, the guy Max Holloway, great guy, probably a 2-division world champion. Yeah, I beat him 3 times. Pretty cool.
Like, Dustin Poirier, that's not a quote,
if there's one word to describe him, it's this: legend.
Yeah, he's a
legend. He is and here's the thing: both guys are surefire Hall of Famers for sure.
Yeah,
both guys are surefire Hall of Famers, 1,000%. So a
diamond never needed gold to shine bright, and that highlights Dustin's career perfectly. Pressure makes diamonds. We've seen him.
Yeah.
There's never going to be another Dustin Poirier.
You are right. Yeah, there's never going to be Poirier. And here's the thing: there's never going to be another Max Holloway. That's why this trilogy is so great. Is both guys are so unique. And the thing is, think about it. 7 years ago, all the analysts, they would have mentioned these guys as just food for Conor, because for so many years, Max, even though Max won a title, most casual go, well, Conor beat both guys, so they both suck. And then we realized, no, it was prime Conor, which was something else. But then he got the coke, he got the blow, and then he was never the same. And then what happened was these guys' careers kept getting better because, unlike Conor, they didn't derail their lives. They stayed on it. They both of them.
They became stars, man.
Yeah, they became stars, and they became stars. For Dustin Poirier, and we talked about this before, for sure he'd still be big. But the reason why this is happening is because he knocked out Conor.
That catapulted him into fucking superstardom.
And here's the thing. This is why I'm a little annoyed, because we both know they could have this event at the Superdome, 60,000 fans. Now, that goes back to the whole fucking ticket price thing, but still, he is a superstar. And so is Max, to a degree, but I feel like because I think Max's win over Justin was it was more iconic than Dustin's win over Conor, but Dustin's win over Conor was more impactful. It was far more impactful. It's great to have the iconic, but you want the impactful more because the impactful means more. It carries more influence. And I think that's why Dustin's a little bit of a star. And I think this fight's awesome. I'm super happy it's happening. This was kind of the only guy I wanted Dustin to fight in his last.
That makes sense. I'm glad Dustin didn't fight Ilya. I am so glad that never happened.
Okay, but just think about this. What if Dustin took a shot? He took his shots, and then Ilya's getting tired, and then Dustin gets him for the title, and he goes. Dude, wouldn't that be crazy? He goes, fire Ilya, beats him for the title, and then throws it off and goes, hey, kid, it's yours now. See ya. Yeah. And then it's like, I hate this guy. And then it's like, he didn't defend the title. He should have done that. Because every time someone pulls GSP, Dana hates you. Because he's Dana. All right.
I can't believe
it. This card's going to be awesome. UFC 318 this Saturday, live at the Smoothie King Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana.
It's gonna be crazy, man.
It's gonna be awesome, man.
We're gonna be shedding tears.
And here's the thing: we were kind of shitting on this card about 2 months ago, and I'm gonna give them credit. I'll give them credit. It's not great. Card. It's not a great card, but what the UFC has done is here's the thing. It doesn't hurt to have Kevin Holland on a card. It always helps. So when you have Kevin Holland on a card, it feels good. Because let's be honest, as soon as they added Kevin to 316, we're like, hey, Kevin Holland's fighting. And now they put Kevin this card. And now we're like, you know what? His card isn't anymore. It's Kevin Holland. Dude, he's going to beat D-Rod. He's going to be like, Colby, come on, dude. I'll fight you on the White House lawn. He's like, I'm going to knock you out on the White House lawn.
That'd be great. That would be awesome. And then
that would be great, yeah. He said some funny thing about knocking him out on the White House lawn. And then Colby like,
And then the same night, Derek Lewis knocks out Tom Aspinall. So it'd be a great time.
Dude, I'm going for 2 weeks, man. I want my wife next. Yeah, she know what it is. A lot of grand finance. She know what it is, fine ass. Yeah. And his wife's like, dude, honestly, if there's one sex tape I'd watch, it's I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm fucked up. I'm sick.
We're sick.
We both are. Everything they say you are, aren't you, you sick bastard? We both are.
Can we go?
All right, brother. It's gonna be a great card, everybody. Go watch it.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
Share with your friends. Share with your mother, your grandmother. Share with anybody.
Enough! Enough! I was saying the Bellator. Scott Coker. Fuck Scott Coker.
Fuck Scott Coker. Fuck Dana White.
Fucking Pitbull should have been in the UFC 10 years ago, you fucks. Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it. I'm Jake.
And I'm Isaiah.
And remember, the greatest fighters always leave it all in the final round, like Dustin Poirier.
All right. Peace.
See you.